Hello everyone. So this is going to be a very different video because I don't know if you can see, but like there's a huge difference in video quality because I'm actually looking at my webcam today. But as you can probably tell, this is actually taken from my webcam. And as you can tell from the title, I'm actually going to be doing like a demo. Just because like I made a video, check that over here on like how to do a demo as a tech consultant or software solutions architect of anything kind of, honestly, any kind of tech demo. The reason why I took a while to make this video was I was really trying to figure out what kind of content or what context of this demo could be. I was like, do I go through Google Sheets? Do I do Google Shopping? Do I do YouTube? I actually ended up going for YouTube just because if you're watching this video, you probably know about YouTube. So it kind of gets a little bit more of like the guessing game out of the way of like what the product is and more focus on the actual techniques and what I do in terms of preparation and actually doing the actual demo as well. So right now I'm actually recording this directly from Zoom. So this is almost as if you're actually in the demo itself, watching it as like a person that is watching the demo. That didn't really make that much sense, but I'm going to be taking this in a format where I'll be doing the demo and then here and there, I'll put some text on the screen as to like what I did that was really specific in that particular scene or what I wanted to show. But also like, I'll also be talking about it as well. If there was something specific that I feel like needs to have some explanation. I'm going to be doing two demos, all on the same product. One is actually going to be on YouTube as a viewer, and one will be on YouTube as a creator. So it will show you how I adapt to different people from how I'm actually doing the demo, but also like what I'm showing and also some preparation work that I've done. So full disclosure, I actually did not prepare this demo at all. I'm literally doing it on the fly. The only thing I prepared was like a test file for upload, which is really just a duplicate file of like one I currently had and just named a test. So this is going to be very off the cuff just because a lot of times you don't even know if you're going to be actually preparing for a demo. So this is going to be like prepared yet not prepared because of course I think everyone knows about YouTube and also I know about YouTube clearly. But when it comes to a demo, sometimes you're asked a question and you kind of have to just go for it. Sometimes you have a test file like I do, sometimes you don't. So I'm just going to make it very honest here on how I would have prepared and what I would have done. So now I'm actually going to go share my screen. I am still going to make it look more like an actual video, but at the same time, like a true sharing my screen kind of demo. So can we just confirm if anyone can see my screen? And I am going to confirm that we can indeed see my screen. So it says over here, your screen sharing. I can't confirm if I'm actually going to be sharing my screen. I could be doing this whole thing and I won't even know. So we're actually at the YouTube homepage. If you click at the top button over here on YouTube, you'll actually see this is the YouTube homepage. Every person has this page based off of your recommendations, either from whatever is popular at the time or trending or whatever you've actually been personally following. There's actually buttons over here on the top based off of what YouTube thinks you've been liking or YouTube thinks that you would be interested. So not all the time will it actually be something you're personally interested. YouTube might be pushing a particular topic that you have here. On your left side over here, you have YouTube Shorts, you have your subscriptions. If you have subscriptions, you'll see all the actual accounts that you've been subscribing here. So these are accounts that you've either previously like subscribed directly on their channel or you may have searched. I will be showing that a little bit later on. You have library to show what you actually currently have. This account currently does not have any, but they do have history. And then history is also going to show you a little bit more on an expanded view with the dates as well. And your videos, which is actually going to open to a completely different tab. And this is actually going to be something else I will be showing if you are a content creator. Most people are going to start out with nothing, but if you are a content creator, you might actually have a lot. So then after that, you have watch later. So watch later is basically like a whole separate playlist where you can, while you're looking at videos you don't want to watch now, kind of look what the name entails, you just kind of add it to this and it's like a whole separate playlist. Like videos are kind of videos that you've actually gone in and liked the videos itself. With the explore page. So trending, this is not something that you can really create or curate. This is actually something that YouTube can see is trending. And then there's also shopping. This is actually generally pretty new. It's actually pretty cool where you can see what people are showing and you'll see products in this video. This is actually a pretty new feature on YouTube. And it's really cool if you're like actually interested in the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 8 Pro, and you can select which one you want. YouTube Music actually is something that you'd have to pay YouTube Premium for, but if you were to listen to it, you could. And then there's also movies and TV, which you do have to pay for renting or paying to watch. Then there's live if you want to watch live streams. There's actually a lot here. I'm actually not so familiar with YouTube gaming. Personally, for me, I don't really use it that much, but you can see people that are actually working on like live streams. News, you can have everything here in one place from news outlets, sports, learning. This one's actually something that I'm not that familiar with, but basically depending on your actual niche of your content, it will be in this area. So if you have content that's in the education space, it would be here. But for the sake of being a viewer, honestly, this is really good for if you're just kind of curious. These are not curated. They're kind of shown in every single place. So you would be able to watch that. And then there's also podcasts. So moving on to the left page, there's also more here, and you can definitely check out if you want to see more. But for the most part, when it comes to a video, let me actually show you how a typical video will look like. So you can kind of see videos here. Google, however, is like the #1 search engine in terms of the biggest, but also YouTube is #2. So let's say we want to look up Grace Hopper 2023. You want to see how it was like. It's now 2024. You're preparing. You can see these videos over here. So now if I were to click into this one, I want to click in and we're going to see first, there's actually a player. There's many different play buttons here you can do. One is like the obvious play button, and this K over here that you see are actually shortcuts. Every single one of them will have a shortcut you can do on your keyboard to be able to trigger it. So I'm actually going to press play without actually pressing my mouse. I'm going to press K and pause as well. So that is pretty cool. It's very accessible if you don't have a mouse or you don't want to use a mouse. And you want to do everything from your keyboard. There's a skip, which basically moves to the next video. You could do Shift N, as you can see over here. And then your volume, you could press M if you want to mute, or you can actually use your arrow keys if you want to go up and down. This is showing the time that you're at of the video out of the time that's actually allocated for the entire video. There's also something here called autoplay, which means it actually plays all these videos upcoming that you have instead of actually clicking. At the very end of the video, however, there is actually a timer that goes on that asks, okay, do you want to play this video or do you want to just skip right away? So then there's also closed captions, and that's actually where you can turn on. Some of them are going to be auto-generated, some of them are not. You can actually click in and you can see all of these. So playback speed, you can go as low as 0.25 and as fast as 2. Personally, for me, I like 2 just because it's kind of slow sometimes. However, if someone's speaking really fast, or I wanted to kind of like, let's say I'm learning, I'm on the learning tab and I'm trying to learn how to do a new skill, I might actually slow it down as opposed to speed it up. So you can really make this player all for you. Subtitles, sometimes they have other languages here. English is generally the one that's auto-generated. And then you also have quality. So this quality, it could be very helpful for if you don't have really good internet, you may want to lower the actual quality. Or if you want high quality and you want that high quality experience and you think your internet is good enough, you can go for the 1080p. Sometimes they actually have a specific quality for if you're on YouTube Premium, you can go higher than that. I don't see it as often, but it's usually from bigger creators that actually have that. So moving forward, there's actually the picture-in-picture where if you were to see something here and open it here, I personally find this very helpful on mobile, but I don't really use this that much on desktop. Then there's also the theater mode, which kind of expands it to your width of your screen. And there's the, default mode, which is this. And this is actually really nice for playing on TV. If you're, let's say you're on your computer or on your phone, you're actually on your phone, you're watching these videos and you want to cast it to a TV that is enabled for Chromecast. So either the TV has Chromecast built in or you have a Chromecast attached to a TV, you can actually cast it as long as you're on the same Wi-Fi network. I personally use this a lot because if I'm on my phone or on my work laptop and I want to cast a video up there as I'm working, I do this as well. The one downside, however, is that you kind of have to have your whatever page you're on open. If you close it on your phone or on your computer, it's actually going to close. Apologies for my cat. You know how cats can be. So this is full screen. I personally don't like to watch a lot of things on full screen because I tend to like to multitask. But a lot of people, if you're watching a video, a full screen could actually be really immersive. Something I thought was really interesting that is actually pretty new to YouTube is that you'll notice that it's actually dark here. There's a dark mode, and then you'll also notice like a little bit on the sides here, it's kind of like blurring the lights. And this is actually the YouTube channel that this creator is. You'll see the number of subscribers. Not all the time will they show the subscribers. You can click subscribe. So when I mentioned the left side hand panel over there where you have subscriptions, this is actually how you subscribe. There's also, however, another area where you can click like or dislike. They show likes now. They don't always show dislikes here. You can share, and these are all the options. You can embed it in a YouTube. You can embed it on a website. You can go to WhatsApp. You can go to Facebook, Twitter, email, Kakao, all that kind of stuff. Honestly, I don't really use all this. I mostly use the link and Messenger specifically. You could also share it at a particular time if you wanted to say like, hey, check out this video. I really thought this particular time was really helpful, or like, look, I'm in this video. Look, I'm at this time. You can do that too. You can also download. You're not actually downloading it offline to your computer or to your phone. You're actually downloading it offline. That if you had your computer or you had your phone, assuming you have your computer, and it's offline, in this case, like it's not connected to Wi-Fi, you can actually still watch the video. It's like downloaded, but it's not truly like downloaded onto your desktop. So then there's also Clip, which is actually a pretty new thing you can use for when you're doing YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts is basically a short form, kind of like TikTok and Instagram Reels. Those short forms, you can clip a particular section in a video and make content of your own. Then you can save to your own playlist. Right now, I only have Watch Later, which is what I mentioned before. If you wanted to, maybe you don't have 9 minutes and 25 seconds to watch this video, you can click Watch Later. And then there's other areas here you can report if you find that this is a bad video, and you can show transcript. This is the description here. I personally think it's interesting to see what people put in here. Sometimes if it's like videos of, here's my best products for 2023, they might put links in here, and you'll also see a little bit more information too. These are comments, so you can either read other people's comments, you can also comment on other people's comments, and you can leave a comment yourself. So there's a like, there's a dislike, you can reply on a comment, and you can even leave emojis here as well. So YouTube is like a very engaging community, as you can probably see. It's really interesting because even though you're engaging with the creator, in the past, YouTube actually had this like messaging, but they actually removed that. So the only way to really engage with a creator is like either directly in YouTube from these actual comments here, or I don't think she would have it because you would need at least 1,000 subscribers. But let me actually check because I know Christine Wong has it. So if you go to community here, you will see that this section here can be used to actually engage. So they can write a post and then attach like a video. You can reply on that. Sometimes they can actually do polls as well. So if you, let's say someone asks like, hey, I would want to know what day of the week you should have YouTube videos. That's actually a great way to actually engage with them directly in your community. So now going into the YouTube channel, this is how a typical YouTube channel looks like. However, this field is all customizable, so you might see things differently. Videos over here, there's 3 different ways you can actually sort it, either latest, popular, or oldest. And YouTube Shorts, which is actually pretty interesting because not everyone has YouTube Shorts, and a lot of people nowadays actually do a lot more YouTube Shorts to stay up in the game. And there's also live streams that happen as well. So you can watch pre-recorded live streams at the time when the live is going live, though they're actually live, but when you're watching it now, you can actually watch it. And then there's playlists as well if you want to see all the playlists that the creator built as well. You can make your own playlist with whatever videos you would like on there, but this is just what the creator actually put in as like their playlist that they have. Community tab I showed before, and then the channels that this person has recommended. The about is kind of like where you have your description and you can put in your information like your email addresses and your links. This is actually really useful if you want to connect with the creator elsewhere. So for the most part, this YouTube channel is very clear on the niche. However, a lot of times you get a lot of random things here, and that's how you can kind of get a little bit more stuck in the actual rabbit hole here about what you want to watch. So as you actually keep on watching, Google is going to learn, YouTube is going to learn a little bit more about what you like, what you do. So for example, if you watch a lot of Nonstop Dan, it's going to start recommending a lot more Nonstop Dan. If you start watching a lot more of Ed Sheeran, you might actually get a lot of content from Ed Sheeran. So there's many different ways you can consume content, either through this recommendations page, your subscriptions over here, or searching here, or if you go directly to a creator and watch and binge all that. There's so many different ways you can even watch it through a playlist. Like let's say, for example, if you want to learn about technology consulting, you could go back to Christine Wong's technology consulting playlist. So there you have it. That is basically what I can talk about for a YouTube channel. There's also YouTube Shorts, which I don't know
with the boys today. Don't call me.
YouTube Shorts is a little bit more designed for mobile. It's easier because you can see it's like a vertical format. And you can just keep scrolling. However, you can still do the same thing when you're on your computer here. The one thing about it though is that it's not necessarily not the most optimized area to be in. You would prefer to probably be on your computer, on your phone. But like usually these three areas are probably the best ways. For me, I actually kind of go to the homepage, and sometimes I just like, if I'm looking for specific things, like let's say, for example, when I went to Grace Hopper, I was actually looking at Grace Hopper 2022. I was looking at Grace Hopper 2022, and then I was watching these videos to see how it was like. So that is pretty much it for YouTube. Now, I'm going to open up for questions. All right, so I kind of went over here a lot. I talked about everything about YouTube, kind of on a basic scale, just because you don't know what they know and what they don't know. A lot of times it's going to be a little bit more directed, but that's why I'm going to actually go into a little bit more on the YouTube creator side. You'll see how I kind of change the shift on like tones or where I'm focusing on or how I talk about certain things or specific demos that I'm showing. But for the most part, this is really just explaining how YouTube works. Clearly, if you're watching this video, you know how YouTube works. However, there's a lot of features that I don't really cover. For the most part, a lot of people are going to be coming in for basics, and that's where the questions come in, where you have follow-ups and you talk about, oh, what is this microphone here? Oh, talk to me about all the accessibility features that YouTube has. Those probably will be a little bit harder because you don't really have the research for. Honestly, while like I mentioned before, I didn't really have that much preparation for this video. But as you can see, like literally throughout this entire demo, I was going over things. I didn't know everything, but I tried to make it look like I did. If you have any questions, just let me know. So that's like what I left off at. So if you had any questions, you would have let me know and I would have been able to dive deeper. I was very specific to walking through everything and trying to be very logical as to what the next step is. I also tried to go through in a chronological area, like if you see on the left side panel, then I go down the left side panel. I also go through what is the typical user journey. The user journey for the content is, for the most part, going to be YouTube videos if you're on YouTube. So I focused on that versus if I were to do YouTube Shorts, I would have shown all of that. For the purpose of the YouTube, I actually focus more on the computer itself. So if you have any questions about how I did the demo, I mostly did it in a way where I did not prepare because I feel like I know about YouTube enough to be able to do something like this. And a lot of times you want to be very natural. A lot of times I'm actually looking at things on the screen and I'm talking about it. So a lot of what you're actually seeing, I'm not going to edit out. This is probably how I'm actually going to be doing it. I won't be editing it out. I might actually, I might edit some out because then it might make things a lot faster. Because normally you won't be sitting down here for like a long demo. You might be sitting for a long demo, but you won't be watching a YouTube video of this long talking about YouTube. But I just wanted to talk about how I actually do a demo. It's very chronological order. So in the case of like the YouTube studio, the YouTube actual creation, I showed from start to beginning how to create a content on YouTube, as well as like what you can do after that. So that's what I mostly have. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Hopefully this is very helpful for you. So for the most part, let me know if you have any feedback. It's very difficult to do a demo without like an actual case, but for the most part, I was really basing it off of the typical YouTube viewer. So that's like kind of like the mindset that I came into. You would want to make sure you have everything persona. Kind of good to do research ahead of time though, to know what they are familiar with and what they are not familiar with, so you can dive into it a little bit deeper on areas that you may be familiar with but they're not. So that way they have a stronger actual way of understanding. That's a little bit harder because I don't have a human here, and normally it's a little bit more engaging to actually ask like, oh, what do you think about this? I thought about having Addison here, but he's not necessarily good with role playing. But let me know what you think. Hopefully this is very helpful. Thank you so much. Bye.